She had been pampered since she was a child, and this experience was like a disaster for her. She didn't dare to look in the mirror, and she would wake up frightened every night. When she was awake, she was always suspicious, feeling that someone was staring at her in a place she couldn't see. She was even repulsed by bodyguards approaching her, and she didn't believe that bodyguards could protect her. Her father wanted Yin to become her personal bodyguard, exclusively protecting only her. But the prerequisite was that Yin had to have the ability to do so. He had to stand out among several bodyguards. Initially, Yin was not optimistic about Yin. After all, he was just a young boy. Compared to the other adult bodyguards in the Yu family, he seemed much weaker. Even the bodyguards didn't take him seriously. Yin wasn't interested in the bodyguards' fights, and she didn't leave her room much during that time, so she didn't watch how the young boy won out. In her mind, the young boy would be beaten to the ground and then slink away. Before Yin came to the Yu family, her father had found her many personal bodyguards, but none of them were suitable. She locked herself in her room and could vaguely hear the sounds of fighting and shouting from the garden downstairs. But the fighting didn't last long. Yin thought that the boy looked so thin that he must have been knocked down. Unexpectedly, Yuanzhou soon came to her room and excitedly told her, "That kid is amazing. He doesn't look like he can take a beating, but he's the best fighter. All of our bodyguards were beaten down by him." An hour later, her father brought Yin to her and said, Yin, from now on, he will be your personal bodyguard and will be fully responsible for your safety." Yin looked up at him. He had taken a quick shower, his hair wasn't completely dry, and he had changed into clean clothes. Except for a scrape on the corner of his mouth, he was completely unharmed. Yin didn't like to talk. Usually, when her father told him to do something, he would just nod. Yuanzhou was very curious about Yin and tried to ask him questions. "How old are you? Where are you from? Who did you learn your skills from? You're so good. Have you been to school? Can you read?" Yin was silent, no matter how Yuanzhou asked. And he never spoke to the bodyguards, always keeping to himself. When Yin was in her room, he would stand guard at the bedroom door, which was the norm most of the time. Occasionally, when Yin went to the garden, he would follow behind her like a shadow. Yin hated Yin like this and threw a tantrum like a young lady. Actually, Yin wasn't that spoiled or arrogant. She had been doted on since birth, but before she was frightened, she had a good personality. She was a bit naughty, but she never acted superior to others. Apart from being a bit delicate, she sometimes even mingled with the servants at home. But that day, she impatiently said to Yin, "I'm in my own home. Can you stop following me all the time?" Yin didn't say anything. When he followed her again, she became furious and grabbed mud from the garden and threw it at him. "Don't follow me so closely." Yin still didn't speak, but he obediently stopped following her so closely. However, he always stayed within her line of sight. Once Yin walked out of his line of sight, he would still follow, maintaining a certain distance to protect her. But in reality, Yin didn't even go out of her room much. No matter how much her parents asked her to go to the garden to bask in the sun, or suggested going to the amusement park, it was to no avail. Until one day, Yin heard a very beautiful flute sound, faint and melodious. It accompanied the cool breeze into her bedroom. She looked through the window and saw Yin sitting outside, playing something that resembled a flute. The sound was pleasant. Yin felt that the fear and worry in her heart disappeared as she listened. It seemed to calm her down. So she walked out of the bedroom and went downstairs. Then she sat next to Yin and listened to him play the flute. The flute's sound was leisurely and made her feel sleepy. When the song was finished, Yin looked at the thing in Yin's hand. It was small like a short flute, but not quite, something very primitive and rough. She asked Yin, "Can I play it?" Yin politely wiped the holes of the flute with the hem of his clothes and handed it to her. Yin was excited, but couldn't make a sound. Yin said, "It's because Miss doesn't have enough strength." The boy's voice was very nice, soft and low, as if he had no emotions, but also as if he was very gentle. Yin was startled and asked him, "You can talk?" He had been at her house for so many days, and this was the first time Yin had heard Yin speak. Yuanzhou had told her that the kid was probably mute, which was a pity. Yin was curious. "Then why don't you talk?" Yin was silent for a long time before softly saying, "I'm not good at saying nice things. I'm afraid it will make Miss unhappy." The Yu family's beloved daughter was naturally cherished by everyone, and no one would even say a harsh word to her. Yin gently shook her head. "Yin, I want you to talk." Yin looked at her. After a long time, he softly replied with one word, "Okay." Although he agreed, Yin was still mostly silent. But he would say a word or two to Yin from time to time, and Yin didn't force him. One day, Yin gave her something. A small box containing powdery stuff. At first, Yin didn't know what it was. She was very curious when she saw him pouring some honey into it, and asked him, "Can it be eaten?" Yin said no. He quickly finished mixing it with honey and then said the longest sentence since coming to the Yu family. Miss, don't be afraid. Apply this ointment to your neck, and the scar will disappear. It turned out it was for the scar on Yunyan's neck. In fact, this was also the reason why Yunyan didn't want to leave her bedroom. The wound had healed, but the scar was still there. 10-year-old girls love to be pretty, and naturally, she couldn't stand having a scar on her neck. She was always afraid of being laughed at. Yunyan thought that the ointment looked dark and dirty after being mixed with honey. Yin thought for a while and decided to help her apply it, telling her, "My hands might be heavy. If I hurt Miss must tell me." Yunyan felt like she had a very long dream, a dream of returning to Jiangnan, returning to the old Yu family residence, returning to her carefree youth, returning to the time when she first met Yin. That year, the camphor trees in the courtyard were in bloom, and a faint fragrance drifted into the bedroom, soothing her worries and fears after being held hostage for days and nights. Yin came, bringing the sunlight and the fragrance of camphor trees. Yunyan suddenly opened her eyes. Where was the old Yu family residence? Where were the camphor trees? And that taciturn boy had never appeared. An unfamiliar room. The air was filled with the smell of alcohol. Her body was limp and sore, and the first thing she did when she sat up was to check herself. Her hair was disheveled, and the clothes she had been wearing had been replaced with a bathrobe. She had a bad feeling and subconsciously looked around. She didn't know where she was, nor whether there were any cameras in the room. Her phone wasn't with her, and it was dark outside the window, so she didn't know what time it was. Memories slowly returned, and the scene in the elevator froze in her mind. Yunyan's heart pounded, and an ominous feeling arose. It wasn't Jiang Yunyan. If it were him, there would be no need to use such inviting methods. Yunyan told herself to calm down. The more this was the case, the more she had to regain her composure. She staggered out of bed. The room was lit by a goose-yellow floor lamp, and the other lights were off. She thought for a moment, then drew all the curtains tightly and turned off the floor lamp. The curtains blocked the moonlight from outside the window, and the bedroom immediately plunged into darkness. She stood still in it, and when her eyes adjusted, she began to look around. Time passed by, and Yunyan completely calmed down in the process. Fortunately, there were no cameras installed in the room. Turning the floor lamp back on, Yunyan went into the bathroom immediately, not in a hurry to take off the bathrobe. After ruling out the possibility of cameras being installed in the bathroom, she carefully examined the mirror. In front of the full-length mirror, she first raised her hand and tapped the mirror, listening to the sound to judge, and then turned off the light and looked carefully, confirming that the bathroom mirrors were all one-way mirrors before she breathed a sigh of relief. Taking off the bathrobe, Yunyan carefully examined herself in the mirror. Her clothes were nowhere to be found in the bathroom, so she put the bathrobe back on. Although she felt weak all over, she shouldn't have been taken advantage of. It was the drug in the handkerchief that caused it. If it wasn't Jiang Yunyan's people, then who could it be? GZ's retaliation? Even if she hated her to the core, it was impossible for GZ to kidnap someone so quickly. Even if GZ's building collapsed at this time, the staff behind her would not easily give up and would definitely pull her along to make a final struggle to try to restore her reputation. Besides GZ, Yunyan thought of one possibility. Her heart suddenly leaped. The Hongyu clubhouse is located in the suburbs. After entering the mountain, there is a heavenly road. It is called a heavenly road because this road is built between the mountains, and both sides of the road are magnificent landscapes of green mountains and shadows. Driving a car through the mountains has a unique charm, especially after entering winter when the snow is white and pleasing to the eye. There are few vehicles on this road because this heavenly road leads directly to the clubhouse and is only for guests of the clubhouse. Speaking of the Hongyu clubhouse, the outside world knows very little, only that it is a place of power and wealth. In fact, the original founders of the clubhouse belonged to the Beijing Circle and specially found a quiet place for relaxation and chatting. Later, more funds flowed into the clubhouse, which was renovated again and became an important gathering place for the powerful and wealthy in the Beijing Circle. Only people from the Beijing Circle, or those who have extremely good relationships with people in the Beijing Circle, can enter here. Many people in the outside world are eager to get in, because being qualified to enter the Hongyu clubhouse means that one's identity and status are not simple, and more resources can be exchanged here. Old Lu drove the car steadily, and the mountain scenery flashed past on both sides. Night was falling, and the mountain shadows seemed a lot more eerie. That Zhang Xianwen usually doesn't accept the Jiang family, and you, young Master Yin, haven't had much contact with him before. You just got off the plane. Is it necessary to go to this appointment? The driver, Old Lu, is Jiang Yunyan's man. He is purely and simply Jiang Yunyan's man, a former Special Forces soldier who later worked as a mercenary in the Golden Triangle area. He was an old acquaintance of Jiang Yunyan. When Jiang Yinyan returned to the Jiang family, old Lu was being ambushed and chased by his enemies. It was Jiang Yinyan who saved old Lu's life. From that day on, old Lu wholeheartedly followed Jiang Yinyan. So old Lu is one of the few people who dares to tell Jiang Yinyan the truth. Jiang Yinyan looked at the dark mountain shadows outside the car window. He didn't take this road often, because he didn't often go to the Hongyu clubhouse. Jiang Zhe, on the other hand, was a regular at the clubhouse. In other words, anyone from the Jiang family who went to the clubhouse was a VIP. After a long time, he said, "I don't have much contact with Zhang Xianwen, and Zhang Xianwen knows very well that I don't like him. But at this time, he told me that he got a beauty, so his intentions are obvious." Got a beauty? Old Lu was surprised. He wasn't surprised by the beauty, but that Jiang Yinyan would go to all this trouble for just one sentence, which was too strange. Jiang Yinyan has never been a lustful person, and from the day he met him, he had never seen him interested in any woman. He never kept women by his side, so Zhang Xianwen only used the word beauty to attract Jiang Yinyan. Old Lu was confused. Did he change his nature? Then he thought again, that's not right. He wasn't interested in women, but didn't he personally intervene in the affairs of the Yu family's daughter? Jiang Yinyan didn't explain much, just hummed, "Yes, a beauty." Old Lu didn't ask any more questions, but he was wondering in his heart, how beautiful must this beauty be? From the manager to the butler to the many servers, the clubhouse was waiting at the door early. As soon as the car stopped, the manager took the initiative to step forward and respectfully led the way. In fact, the Hongyu clubhouse doesn't occupy a large area, the purpose of which is not to be too ostentatious. But in the eyes of outsiders, opening a mountain to build a road for a clubhouse is already a very ostentatious thing. So even if the clubhouse is as small as a latrine, the so-called avoiding ostentation is just burying one's head in the sand. Zhang Xianwen had arrived long ago, and he had pulled 3 Beijing circle signs to play mahjong with him. Zhang Xianwen is known for his love of playing cards, and he's a regular at casinos in Macau. This is well known in the circle. Seeing Jiang Yinyan's arrival, Zhang Xianwen yelled and threw the mahjong tiles in his hand on the table. "Young Master Yin has arrived. What a pleasure, what a pleasure." In addition to the 4 people at the table, there were 5 or 6 others, all from the circle. Before Jiang Yinyan entered, they were talking and laughing, chatting about everything, about history and economics, interspersed with talk about women. The red wine in their glasses was constantly refilled, and the topic never stopped. After Jiang Yinyan came in, the people who were chatting stopped talking and got up one after another, calling out "Young Master Yin" one after another. The other 3 on the mahjong table also quickly stood up to greet him. Only Zhang Xianwen sat there sloppily, arranging the tiles, saying what a pleasure in his mouth, but without the slightest pretense of flattery. Among the signs present, only Zhang Xianwen dared to challenge Jiang Yinyan. The others were very good at judging the situation. Most of the people present today had never met Jiang Yinyan before, but Jiang Yinyan's reputation was well known, so they had naturally heard of him. They invited Jiang Yinyan to sit down. Zhang Xianwen suggested, "Since young Master Yin is here, let's play a few rounds?" The one with the shallowest family background at the table naturally gave way, personally pulling out the chair, flattering, "Young Master Yin, sit here, my feng shui is good here." The person next to him was even more eloquent. "Wherever young Master Yin sits, the feng shui is good." Yes, yes, yes. Jiang Yinyan was not polite and sat down. Seeing this, Zhang Xianwen shouted to the butler, "Quick, quick, bring out the tiles I have stored here." The butler hurried to prepare. "Brother one, you even store tiles here?" someone at the table asked. Zhang Xianwen smiled. "That's right, my set of tiles is not easily taken out. You're lucky to be able to see them today, thanks to young Master Yin." "Oh, then we have to thank young Master Yin." Jiang Yinyan took the towel handed over by the waiter and wiped his hands leisurely. Anything that can catch young Master Zhang's eye is a good thing. "Today, I'm also fortunate to enjoy the view." Zhang Xianwen leaned his body forward slightly, looked at Jiang Yinyan with a smile, and said, "Young Master Yin, to be honest, my set of tiles is rare in the world. Throwing out any tile can be used as money." "Oh." Jiang Yinyan raised his eyebrows slightly, with a non-smiling smile. "Then young Master Zhang is amazing." Soon the butler came over. He didn't come alone. Behind him were 2 waiters, carrying a rather large metal tray, with things stacked on top of the tray, covered with a piece of white brocade. Zhang Xianwen loudly and generously said, "Clean up the table. Don't let the mahjong tiles dirty young Master Yan's hands." The waiters moved quickly, cleaning up the table first, and then the butler ordered people to move the tray to the table. The white brocade was gently lifted, and a golden light immediately shone. Upon closer inspection, the mahjong tiles in the tray were neatly arranged with the back facing up, and were actually made of gold. "Take a look." Zhang Xianwen gestured. The person at the table picked up a mahjong tile and looked at it, exclaimed, carefully touched it, and exclaimed, "Carved with jade?" The front side was jade, and the back was gold. The jade was white and delicate, without any impurities, and it was extremely smooth and cool to hold in the hand. Zhang Xianwen was smug, and casually touched a tile in his hand to play with it carefully. This is called gold inlaid with jade, step by step to prosperity. He looked at Jiang Yinyan again. The jade on my set of tiles is Hetian jade, and I personally went to Xinjiang to choose the jade. Each one used on the tiles is worth a fortune. Jiang Yinyan didn't touch the tiles, but took the warm tea handed over by the waiter, took a sip, and said with satisfaction, "The tea is good." Young Master Yin, are you slapping me in the face? I finally got a treasure and brought it to share with you, but you don't even glance at it. It hurts me a lot. Zhang Xianwen said loudly and generously. He ordered the butler again. Arrange them, let young Master Yin have a taste of the fresh. The butler immediately did as he was told. Jiang Yinyan laughed lightly. Young Master Zhang is generous. I'm afraid this set of tiles is on the table for the first time, right? Isn't it? Young Master Yin is a distinguished guest. Of course, good things have to be left to young Master Yin to taste first. Zhang Xianwen was a typical playboy. As these words fell, the atmosphere in the room subtly changed, and the expressions of those who had been crowding forward also became strange. For a moment, no one spoke. But Zhang Xianwen burst out laughing, pointing at Jiang Yinyan. Yin Xiao, I didn't expect it. You really came for the beauty? Jiang Yinyan stroked the gold and jade ka in front of him, speaking slowly and deliberately. Young Master Zhang told me with great excitement that he had obtained a beauty. Of course, I'm very curious. Just what kind of beauty could make young Master Zhang spend so lavishly tonight? Zhang Xianwen laughed triumphantly. This beauty, her background isn't small, and it's one that this old man spent years of effort to get my hands on. Tonight, gathering everyone here is just to have you witness it for me. Seeing that these two were chatting about this topic so openly, the others relaxed and became curious about the beauty. Hey, what's with you monkeys being so impatient? You'll see her sooner or later. Zhang Xianwen even played coy. Let's play mahjong first. My beauty is tired and probably hasn't woken up yet. When he said tired, the implication in his smile was obvious. So the others understood and laughed freely. Young Master Zhang, you succeeded? Of course. Zhang Xianwen chuckled. The gentle embrace of a woman is a hero's tomb. That beauty's slender waist is like a knife. Her skin's so smooth you could pinch water from it. I've been through thousands of flowers, right? But I almost couldn't get up from that beauty's body. TSK, more exciting than any woman I've ever played with. He spoke frivolous, even vulgar words, which aroused everyone's excitement. Zhang Xianwen, however, hadn't quite finished playing coy. He beckoned everyone to start playing mahjong and asked Jiang Yinyan, how about it? Yin Xiao, want to play a few big hands? Jiang Yinyan remained calm. Since I'm here, I might as well enjoy it. I like Yin Xiao being so forthright. Come. As the mahjong game started, Zhang Xianwen didn't forget to talk about the beauty while drawing tiles. This beauty of mine is famous in our circle. Famous for being alluring, a beautiful little face, a figure that can seduce people to death. Every move can captivate people's souls. The first time I saw her, I wanted to get my hands on her. His eyes lit up. Now that I've got her, sure enough, after playing a few rounds, I have to recharge. That little beauty is too damn enchanting. I can't get enough. Young Master Zhang, you have to take care of your health. The others laughed. I say, young Master Zhang, don't keep tempting us. Since the beauty has been tormented by you to the point where she can't get out of bed, then at least tell us some information about her, so we can roughly get an idea. Get an idea, so what? You dare covet a woman that young Master Zhang has taken a fancy to? I wouldn't dare. Hey, Zhang Xianwen interrupted their discussion. Brothers are like limbs, women are like clothes. Good clothes should be shared by good brothers. That's exciting enough, isn't it? He smiled lewdly. The others understood. Young Master Zhang is generous. It's not like she's some innocent virgin. As Zhang Xianwen said this, there was an obvious look of disdain. A piece of goods that's been played by who knows how many men. I only had the idea of getting her after hearing from brothers who had been with her how enchanting she was. Sure enough, she's a treasure of the world. You have to try it. As he spoke, he looked at Jiang Yinyan with a knowing smile. This beauty is very famous in the circle. Maybe Yin Xiao has already tasted her. Jiang Yinyan played a tile. Oh, since young Master Zhang says so, I'm even more curious. Did you hear that? Yin Xiao even said he's curious. I say, young Master Zhang, you've done enough build-up. Everyone's appetite has been whetted by you. That's right. Quickly let the beauty come out so we brothers can take a look. Look at how impatient you are. Someone teased. We came here to see beauties. Of course we're impatient. The person at the table said this, and then asked Zhang Xianwen with a smirk. You've already tormented the beauty once. Can she serve so many brothers properly tonight? Do you want to call up a few more beauties? Zhang Xianwen waved his hand with a tile in his hand. I fired 3 guns, so satisfying. I brought the beauty over in broad daylight. Everyone praised. Young Master Zhang is really something. No wonder the beauty can't get up. Who? After the player before him discarded a tile, Jiang Yinyan pushed his tiles down and said lightly. When everyone looked, wow, the winning hand. Young Master Zhang, wouldn't you say this is called losing at the mulberry tree, but gaining at the elm tree? Oh no, it should be the other way around. You gained at the elm tree, but lost at the mulberry tree. You were so busy talking about the beauty, Yin Xiao won a lot of money from you in this hand. It's good as long as Yin Xiao is happy. Zhang Xianwen didn't care about winning or losing at all. Yin Xiao has such a good temper. Even though he's interested in the beauty, he can still win without showing it. Jiang Yinyan smiled faintly. I only believe my own eyes. Whether or not a woman is beautiful doesn't depend on what young Master Zhang says, but on how I see her. See her? Zhang Xianwen was nonchalant, stared at Jiang Yinyan for a few seconds, and then looked around at everyone. See her? Everyone was excited when they heard this. See her? Yes, seeing is believing. Zhang Xianwen laughed. Then let's take a look. He reached out and beckoned the butler over, whispered something in his ear. The butler nodded repeatedly, and then took Zhang Xuanwen's phone and left. The butler is now going to see if the beauty is awake. If she is, he'll bring her down. But you also know, women, when they meet people, they always have to doll themselves up, which takes a lot of time, so I'll let everyone feast their eyes first. After he finished speaking, the lights in the room dimmed. The projector lit up. Facing Jiang Yinyan, everyone looked over. It was a video. A graceful woman was lying softly on the sofa, her eyes closed, her clothes disheveled. Zhang Xianwen was lying on top of her, greedily kissing her cheeks, burying his entire face deep in her neck, sucking in her fragrance. The scene was amorous and lingering. The video wasn't long, just a short clip, and then Zhang Xianwen requested it to be played repeatedly. Although there were no explicit scenes, just the silhouette of the beauty was enough to make people fantasize. The people at the mahjong table tooted. Young Master Zhang, you're showing us this clip? Isn't that just typical of giving us a taste of something, but not the real thing? That's right, give us more. Zhang Xianwen laughed and scolded these people. This beauty scolded me for being reckless before, but I think you guys are more deserving of that word. Want more? What? Do you want to see me naked? Everyone laughed. Suddenly, someone said, why do I think this beauty looks a little familiar? Immediately afterwards, someone said in shock, isn't that Miss Yu from the Yu family? The Jiang family's arranged marriage. After that, no one dared to laugh. Generally speaking, even if someone in the circle has rampant rumors with a female celebrity, as long as the person involved doesn't personally admit to wanting to marry her, their friends in the circle will only treat it as a topic of conversation. Like the matter between Jiang Zhe and GZ. Everyone in the circle knows about his marriage alliance with the Yuri family's daughter, so no matter how much noise GZ makes, as long as Jiang Zhe doesn't personally admit it, then and GZ are in a relationship of as long as I, the Empress, don't die. You are all just consorts. Therefore, compared to GZ, people in the circle recognizing him more. And so, even if it was GZ on the projector at this moment, the reaction wouldn't be like this. So cautious, because the Jiang family is right in front of them, and it's the crown prince that no one in the entire circle dares to offend. Although everyone knows that Jiang Yinyan and his elder brother Jiang Yintai are secretly at odds, they can fight however they want behind closed doors, but outwardly they definitely don't want any influence on the reputation of the Jiang family. At this moment, Zhang Xianwen is openly taking advantage of the Jiang family's future daughter-in-law and deliberately provoking Jiang Yinyan in this way, and the atmosphere instantly becomes tense. The few people gathered around the mahjong table exchanged glances and quietly dispersed to the side, some tasting red wine, some chatting, and some simply eating fruit. But no matter what they were doing, it was obvious that everyone was on edge, afraid that a fight would break out at the mahjong table. And the two who were accompanying Jiang Ninian and Zhang Xianwen at the table felt extremely tormented, wanting to leave but unable to easily get up, so they could only sit there and endure. Jiang Ninian's expression remained calm, feeling the tiles and ignoring the impending atmosphere. But Zhang Xianwen, after speaking again, let discerning people completely understand that he was targeting Jiang Ninian. He looked back at the projector and exclaimed, "Look at my memory. How could I have forgotten this? Really, oh really, what do you call this, do you know?" No one dared to respond. This is called being recklessly bold. Zhang Xianwen smiled mischievously and asked everyone, right? No one spoke. My bad. I was so enamored with the beauty that I didn't think about anything else. Ah well, I only remembered that young master, Yin had some involvement with this beauty. Zhang Xianwen stared at Jiang Yinyan with a smile. I heard a few days ago that something happened to the beauty, and young Master Yin was the one who smoothed things over. Young Master Yin, I didn't remember wrong, did I? The others had also heard about this and didn't dare to breathe loudly. Jiang Yinyan raised his eyes to look at the projector and said in a calm tone, young Master Zhang's memory isn't bad either. Is it? Hey, I only remember what's happening right in front of me. Zhang Xianwen sighed. Now I realize why young Master Yin had to personally step in. After all, Miss Yu is considered a member of the Jiang family, so young Master Yin is helping with his own. He pretended to think for a moment. That's right, young Master Yin's nephew's wife? Isn't he just busy with the Jiang family's own affairs? I'm so confused. Jiang Yinyan smiled non-committally. So young Master Zhang specially invited me here today. Is it to apologize to me? With young Master Yan's current influence in the Jiang family, I definitely have to apologize. Zhang Xianwen wasn't in a hurry to play cards. Leaning back in his chair lazily, I not only have to apologize to young Master Yin, but also to Jiang Zhe. After all, I slept with his fiancée. How does young Master Zhang want to make amends? Jiang Yinyan's eyes showed no anger. Zhang Xianwen put down the cards in his hand and leaned forward. Young Master Yin, look, Jiang Zhe is currently having scandals all over the place with that actress, so he definitely doesn't have Miss Yu in his heart. Now, I've also touched Miss Yu, so why not just give her to me, so that if this matter is spread out in the future, young Master Zhang's face will be saved, right? Also, Zhang Xianwen smiled lewdly, staring at Jiang Yinyan. Once Miss Yu has nothing to do with Jiang Zhe, wouldn't it be convenient for young Master Yin? Miss Yu is so captivating, I don't mind letting her play with you for a few days, young Master Yin. Jiang Yinyan smiled. Young Master Zhang has a good plan. He immediately changed the subject. However, wasn't the matter with Miss Yu's younger brother orchestrated by young Master Zhang? Well, it was just a small punishment to serve as a warning. After all, he's Miss Yu's younger brother. How could I really want to kill him? Zhang Xianwen pretended to be serious. To be honest, young Master Yin, I'm just waiting for Miss Yu to throw herself into my arms. I didn't expect you to actively stop me. Just because of such a woman, you almost fell out with me. Oh, really? Jiang Yinyan's lips slightly curved upward. Then how does young Master Zhang want to apologize? One sentence made the atmosphere even more tense. Zhang Xianwen raised an eyebrow. Don't tell me, young Master Yin, you're taking this so seriously? I'm the kind of person who protects my own, Jiang Yinyan said lightly, and if it's something related to the Jiang family, it wouldn't be right if I didn't take it seriously. Zhang Xianwen gradually restrained his smile, staring at Jiang Yinyan, his eyes filled with a sense of competition. At this moment, the butler came forward, leaned over, and said a few words in Zhang Xianwen's ear. After listening, Zhang Xianwen smiled again, raised his hand, and waved the butler away. Zhang Xianwen said, what a coincidence. Miss Yu has already woken up. He looked at Jiang Yinyan as he said this. Jiang Yinyan's expression, however, remained unchanged. Yinyan was led downstairs by the butler all the way, and when she reached the hall and secretly looked around, she more or less guessed where this place was. She hadn't been here before, but she had heard people in the circle talk about it. The happy nest of the Beijing Circle's disciples, or rather, a den of pleasure. Gatherings are often held here. If the gatherings are only for men, they are called business banquets. If there are both men and women, the gatherings become feasts. Soon she saw Zhang Xianwen. Yinyan wasn't surprised at all. It was what she expected. But when she also saw Jiang Yinyan, her heart suddenly jumped. Taking one step at a time, she understood a lot of things in just a few steps, and also understood Zhang Xianwen's purpose in doing this. Besides her, everyone present was a man. Everyone was looking at her. Only Jiang Yinyan wasn't looking at her. The projection on the wall fell into her eyes, and her scalp tightened. The beauty is awake. Zhang Xianwen stood up. His gaze was obviously stunned when he saw her for the first time, but he quickly returned to a wretched appearance. As he spoke, he stepped forward and put his arm around her. The two at the mahjong table took the opportunity to quickly leave, using thirst as an excuse to drink water. Jiang Yinyan slightly raised his eyes, his gaze falling on Yunyan's face. That gaze was so calm, yet so deep that it was frightening. Yunyan pushed Zhang Xianwen away, not giving Zhang Xianwen any time to react. And Zhang Xianwen, he hadn't expected her to resist at all, thinking that at best she would struggle in this situation. As a result, Yunyan pushed him so hard that he almost lost his balance and fell to the ground. Then she saw Yunyan stepping forward, putting her hands on the table, appearing like she wanted to flip over the mahjong table. But the mahjong table was too heavy, and she couldn't lift it at all. The next second, she saw Jiang Yinyan handing her 2 mahjong tiles. She took the tiles and threw them at Zhang Xianwen. That wasn't the end of it. She grabbed the mahjong tiles on the table and threw them at Zhang Xianwen one after another. These were gold inlaid, jade, mahjong tiles. It hurt to be hit with them, and it could even draw blood if they hit the head. Zhang Xianwen didn't expect this scene to happen at all. He was holding himself and dodging the mahjong tiles being thrown at him, his back aching from the hits. Zhang Xianwen was hit quite a bit, flew into a rage out of humiliation, and yelled at an opportune moment. "Yunyan, you dare to hit me? Are you out of your mind?" He then shouted at the butler and the servers. "Are you all dead? Hold her down for me." The butler and servers looked at each other, glancing at Yunyan, then at Jiang Yinyan, but they didn't dare offend Zhang Xianwen. So they hesitantly stepped forward. Then they heard Yunyan's stern voice, "Don't touch me." She stood there with a straight spine, no longer hitting Zhang Xianwen. Even without Jiang Yinyan's presence, Yunyan, though down on her luck, was still a socialite, and with her family's ties to the Jiang family through a planned marriage, no one there really dared to do anything to her. Zhang Xianwen straightened up and was about to step forward when he saw Yunyan clench the mahjong tile in her hand again. He immediately stopped and pointed at her. I'm telling you, this mahjong is expensive. You couldn't afford to pay for it, even if you were sold." Yunyan sneered. "What? Has the Zhang family started a human trafficking business now? That makes one question whether the Zhang family's initial fortune was acquired cleanly. I'm warning you, don't make unfounded accusations." Yunyan laughed as if she'd heard a joke, but her gaze shifted to Jiang Yinyan's face. She walked forward and asked, "Young Master Yin, may I borrow your phone?" Everyone watched this scene in hushed silence. Zhang Xianwen thought she was going to call the police and sneered derisively. "Yunyan, what are you pretending to be?" He didn't finish his sentence, because Jiang Yinyan handed her his phone. Yunyan took it and thanked him. Then she asked, "Is there a password?" "It's unlocked." Yunyan touched the screen, which was in an unlocked state. She opened the camera and recorded a video of the projector. Zhang Xianwen immediately realized what she was doing and quickly stepped forward. But he saw Yunyan turn the camera directly towards Zhang Xianwen. Zhang Xianwen shouted coldly, "What are you doing? What are you recording?" Yunyan moved the camera again, scanning the surroundings. Apart from Jiang Yinyan, everyone else present panicked, some even turning their backs to avoid the camera. Zhang Xianwen had already rushed forward, reaching out to grab the phone. Then he heard Yunyan ask in a cold voice, "Young Master Yan's phone. Shouldn't young Master Zhang find it difficult to snatch?" Zhang Xianwen paused at those words. Although he had been intentionally provoking Jiang Yinyan tonight, forcibly snatching someone's phone would be a blatant declaration of hostility. Zhang Xianwen turned to Jiang Yinyan and reminded him, "Young Master Yin, she just recorded you too." Jiang Yinyan slowly sipped his tea and replied calmly, "I saw. Record if you want." "You." "Young Master Yin." Yunyan interrupted Zhang Xianwen, looking at Jiang Yinyan. "Zhang Xianwen used despicable means and recorded a video of me while I was completely unconscious, infringing on my rights and maliciously spreading it. Why just recorded is the evidence. Young Master, you don't mind holding on to the evidence for me, do you?" Zhang Xianwen's face was extremely ugly. Everyone else was startled and said, "Miss you, this matter has nothing to do with us." "Nothing to do with you? Didn't you see it?" Yunyan said coldly. For a moment, everyone didn't know how to respond. "Young Master Yin." Yunyan's gaze returned to Jiang Yinyan's face. Jiang Yinyan held out his hand to her. "Okay." Yunyan returned the phone to Jiang Yinyan. Zhang Xianwen was displeased and narrowed his eyes at Jiang Yinyan. "What do you mean by this, young Master Yin?" Jiang Yinyan smiled slightly. "In my opinion, Miss Yu hasn't made any excessive demands." Fire blazed in Zhang Xianwen's eyes, but he tried to suppress it. He told himself not to be led by Yunyan's rhythm. He had miscalculated. From a moment he saw Yunyan not wearing a bathrobe when she came downstairs, things had not gone as he expected. With Yunyan's quick and assertive output, his rhythm was completely disrupted, so he had to regain control. As Zhang Xianwen thought this, a burst of anger subsided. He looked at Yunyan and smiled. "I get it now, little beauty. You woke up and got angry because you didn't see me by your side, right? Don't be like that. You've already drained me 3 times. Are you still insatiable?" His tone was extremely crude, intentionally so, but Yunyan was neither angry nor annoyed. She simply sat down at the mahjong table. Zhang Xianwen was stunned by this. He had been waiting for Yunyan to become exasperated. After all, even a woman of the night would be ashamed in front of everyone, let alone her, a daughter of the Yu family. Yunyan sneered, "At 8:30 p.m., I was attacked in the elevator. This is the Red Glory Clubhouse, which is far from the city center, or more precisely, about a 2-hour drive from where I was kidnapped. It's a little past 11 p.m. now. Even if it took half an hour for me to be brought here, can young Master Zhang do 3 things in half an hour? Do you ejaculate too quickly? Moreover, young Master Zhang also boasted to everyone here, right?" She stared at Zhang Xuanwen's increasingly ugly face. "Young Master Zhang, how long have you been chatting here? 10 minutes? 20 minutes? That only leaves 10 minutes to do things 3 times? These words caused silent astonishment among the crowd, and they instantly understood something. They wanted to cover their mouths and laugh secretly, but they couldn't be too obvious. Zhang Xuanwen's face was ashen, and he gnashed his teeth. Yunyan, I think you're courting death. Am I courting death? Or does young Master Zhang think he's had enough peaceful days and wants to find some excitement? Yunyan wasn't afraid of him. Her eyes were cold, like sharp swords. Everyone. Her voice was cold and piercing. Zhang Xianwen hired people to kidnap me, ordered them to confiscate my phone, took videos, and spread the video content to falsely accuse me and slander my reputation. All of you here are people of status. I just want to ask everyone, does Zhang Xuanwen's behavior constitute a crime? Seeing this, who would dare to say a word? Everyone understood in their hearts that Zhang Xianwen had really kicked a steel plate this time. Zhang Xianwen was furious. You stinking bitch, what are you pretending to be? What kind of pure image are you trying to create for yourself? Who in the circle doesn't know you're a cheap whore that everyone can sleep with? Yunyan allowed him to scold her, sitting there with arrogant righteousness, watching Zhang Xianwen with cold eyes and a faint smile on her lips. Seeing her expression, Zhang Xianwen felt unsure as he cursed. After he finished cursing, he heard Yunyan say calmly, even though I'm a whore that everyone can sleep with, I'm still unwilling to be with you, young Master Zhang. Shouldn't you look for the problem within yourself? You framed Wanzhou for your own selfish desires, and you used Zhuangzhou's matter to threaten me to give myself to you. Unfortunately, your wishful thinking fell through. When one plan failed, you hatched a malicious scheme, kidnapped me, and brought me here to deliberately disgust me and slander me. Zhang Xianwen, do your parents know about this villainous face of yours? Don't think I don't know what kind of medicine you're selling in your gourd. Young Master Yan is here today. You disgust me just to disgust the Jiang family, right? Then what? Zhang Xianwen was so angry that his face and heart trembled. According to Zhang Xuanwen's initial idea, the moment Yunyan was brought out would be the start of a good show. Actually, it wasn't just Zhang Xianwen who thought so. Normal people would think the same. A woman whose reputation had been slandered, suggestive video materials, and an ambiguous bathrobe. Unexpectedly, the situation developed in an uncontrollable direction. Zhang Xianwen was almost driven mad by Yunyan, his face almost distorted. How could anyone else present dare to expect a romantic night? Yunyan was a trigger point. Once it exploded between the Zhang and Jiang families, the consequences would be predictably serious. Moreover, although Jiang Yunyan was calm and silent throughout the entire process, he did not hinder Yunyan's behavior counterattacking Zhang Xianwen in front of everyone, and people saw some clues from it. Some of the clever ones planned to leave, and the remaining few, seeing someone else leave, wanted to follow suit. I haven't had enough fun yet. No one is allowed to leave. Zhang Xianwen, wounded all over, couldn't just let it go. If everyone left at this time, how would he still be able to function in the circle in the future? He still wanted to gain a sense of existence through Yunyan, but Jiang Yunyan didn't give him the opportunity. He heard him say with a light smile, "You guys are all so ignorant. Young Master Zhang has even brought out the golden-laid jade mahjong tiles, but you won't leave before winning a few big hands?" Upon hearing this, others echoed, that's right. Let's play a few rounds." Yes, I've been wanting to play for a long time. I also want to feel what the golden-laid jade mahjong feels like. Wow, the jade is really smooth. Jiang Yunyan seemed to give Zhang Xianwen a way out. Zhang Xuanwen's anger turned into a stomach full of doubts. Could he be so kind? Jiang Yunyan turned to ask Yunyan, "Miss you, how's your mahjong skills?" Yunyan secretly analyzed his intentions, but when she realized she couldn't figure it out, she simply gave up. She said, "SOSO." She wasn't very fond of playing mahjong. Jiang Yunyan didn't seem angry and said, "It doesn't matter, you sit next to me." Yunyan didn't plan to leave immediately either. If Zhang Xianwen didn't give an explanation for today's events, she wouldn't let it go. The butler quickly brought a chair over and respectfully said, "Miss you, please sit." Yunyan didn't hesitate and sat down. "Everyone, please sit too," Jiang Yunyan greeted with a smile that wasn't quite a smile. Although many people had echoed earlier, actually sitting down at the mahjong table wasn't a casual matter. If everyone was just speculating about Jiang Yunyan's position earlier, now it was very clear. From a moment he asked Miss Yu to sit next to him, he told everyone present that he was taking care of Miss Yu's matter. Who would dare to get involved in this? Seeing Jiang Yunyan like this, Zhang Xianwen was furious, but he couldn't vent his anger on him, so he suppressed his anger and greeted everyone. Come, hurry up and sit down. I won't be satisfied until I win a few big hands." In the end, 2 people who usually played closely with Zhang Xianwen sat down to play with him. Of course, the others didn't dare to leave either. This was perhaps the first time this group of people so desperately wanted to leave the Red Reverie Club as soon as possible. Whether it was because Zhang Xianwen was still angry or because he really wanted to drain Zhang Yinyan through mahjong, the stakes were quite high. Winning wouldn't be a problem, but losing several rounds in a row would require a substantial fortune. Although the other two weren't that concerned about the money, they were also having a headache. This feeling was like being roasted on an iron plate, burning their hands and feet, and unable to get off. When the game started, Zhang Yinyan said to Yunyan, "Help me draw the tiles." Everyone looked over. Yunyan thought for a moment and asked, "Young Master Jiang, aren't you afraid that I'll have bad luck? After all, I've had a streak of bad luck today, to the point of utter misfortune." Zhang Xuanwen's nostrils flared, and his eyes were not eyes. Jiang Yinyan smiled faintly. "I'm not afraid. Even bad luck has to make a detour when it sees me." There was a hidden meaning in his words. "Since young Master Jiang said so, I'm not afraid." Yunyan helped Jiang Yinyan draw the tiles. If there hadn't been that scene earlier, and Jiang Yinyan had a woman by his side, everyone present would have teased him with a remark about adding fragrance to the red sleeves. But now no one dared to joke. And so, drawing tiles, playing tiles. When discarding a tile, Jiang Yinyan would also ask Yunyan, "Which one do you want to discard?" Yunyan didn't act coyly and instead asked Jiang Yinyan, "Can I discard whichever one I want?" "Yes, whatever makes you happy," Jiang Yinyan said in a light tone. But the weight of these words was not small, so Yunyan pointed at a tile. Jiang Yinyan really kept his word, discarding whichever tile Yunyan pointed at. Everyone with discerning eyes could see that Yunyan really wasn't good at playing, and she was practically pointing at tiles randomly. But Jiang Yinyan not only didn't get angry, but also indulged her behavior, so the atmosphere at the mahjong table became very strange. Of course, no one dared to joke and say, "Young Master Jiang really dotes on his niece-in-law." But Jiang Yinyan really knew how to play. No matter how poorly Yunyan pointed at the tiles, he could always find a way to take the initiative, winning several rounds in a row, and targeting Zhang Xianwen every time. Zhang Xianwen hated it so much that he gritted his teeth. In the later rounds, Yunyan simply gave random directions, and Jiang Yinyan still listened to her, and the result was predictable. Zhang Xianwen lost over 2 million that night and was puffed up with anger. It reminded Yunyan of a puffer fish. Jiang Yinyan didn't plan to play anymore and glanced at the time. "It's too late, let's call it a day." Everyone present breathed a sigh of relief. How could Zhang Xianwen be willing to accept this? He kept yelling, "No, I won't let anyone leave until I win it back." Jiang Yinyan said lazily, "Is 2 million considered money in young Master Zhang's eyes?" "It has nothing to do with money." Zhang Xuanwen's eyes were blazing. Yunyan definitely believed what he said. These wealthy young masters, let alone losing 2 million in one night, there were those who lost 20 million. The money they splashed in one night was enough for ordinary people to live a lifetime. Jiang Yinyan smiled. "I don't want young Master Zhang's money. Winning or losing is just a small matter." Zhang Xianwen narrowed his eyes. "Winning and not taking money? Then what does young Master Jiang want? An apology to miss you?" Upon hearing this, Yunyan's heart stirred, and she turned to look at Jiang Yinyan. He didn't look at her. His profile was calm and deep, and he stared at Zhang Xianwen with great intimidation. People around secretly exchanged glances. Zhang Xianwen seemed to have heard a joke. "What?" Jiang Yinyan was very patient and repeated lightly, "Young Master Zhang, you need to apologize to miss you." "Why?" Zhang Xianwen sneered. "You want me to apologize to a woman? Dream on." His next sentence changed his face again, smiling as he looked at Yunyan. "But I don't mind giving these 2 million to miss you. Just consider it as me prostituting a high-class prostitute." Yunyan clenched her fists secretly. However, there wasn't a trace of anger in Jiang Yinyan's eyes, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly. "Young Master Zhang, do you still have a choice?" Zhang Xianwen frowned, his tone very displeased. "What do you mean by that, young Master Jiang?" The atmosphere tensed up again. Zhang Xianwen pursed his lips tightly, fire blazing in his eyes. These days, making an adult pay money was doable, but apologizing was difficult, especially when the person was the reckless Zhang Xianwen. So, he started acting like a fool. "I won't apologize, Yin Xiao. What can this video do? If it gets out, it's Yunyan who suffers." Zhang Xianwen smiled sinisterly. "Miss you enjoying herself with a group of young elites at the club? That would make for a scandalous story. Everyone there can testify to how charming Miss you was tonight." Saying that, he looked at Yunyan. "This isn't the first time something like this has happened to you. So what are you pretending for?" Yunyan's heart was filled with rage, but she remained outwardly calm because Jiang Yinyan was by her side, and it was clear he intended to intervene. Jiang Yinyan played with a mahjong tile in front of him, his gaze subtly sweeping around the room. He said casually, "Everyone there? Dare you?" Being singled out by the two of them, Everyone in the room felt like their heads were about to explode. They secretly lamented their misfortune, caught in the crossfire of two tigers. Seeing the reactions of the others, Jiang Yinyan was quite satisfied. He turned his attention back to Zhang Xianwen. If it doesn't leak out, we can just give it to the police. Of course, a video isn't a big deal. With the Zhang family's influence, it would be easy to take care of, but it's too difficult for young Master Zhang to silence everyone. He idly shuffled the mahjong tiles. Now, with feminism on the rise, if it gets out that young Master Zhang used these means to coerce a woman, netizens won't see it as a romantic affair. Zhang Xianwen sneered. You want to pin something on me with just this video? How could we? Jiang Yinyan said calmly, handing his phone to Yun Yin and casually instructing, call Lao Lu. Yun Yin did as she was told, even though she didn't know what Jiang Yinyan's plan was. The phone was answered almost immediately after it started ringing. Yun Yin held the phone to Jiang Yinyan's ear, doing everything smoothly. Jiang Yinyan didn't say much, just casually ordered, bring him in. Soon, Lao Lu came in. He was holding someone by the scruff of their neck like a chicken. Zhang Xuanwen's face changed drastically when he saw the person. Lao Lu pushed the man forward, and he stumbled and fell to the ground. He looked up and saw Jiang Yinyan first, making him tremble with fear. Then he saw Zhang Xianwen and quickly said, Young Master Zhang, I did everything you asked. You have to protect me. Zhang Xianwen shuddered and shouted, Don't talk nonsense. Do I even know you? Hearing this, the man became enraged. Young Master Zhang, you want to deny everything, right? Fine, if you want to cross the river and tear down the bridge, I won't let you get away with it. He turned to Jiang Yinyan and pleaded, Yin Xiao, it was Zhang Xianwen who ordered me to kidnap Miss Yu. I was just following orders. I'm innocent. Zhang Xianwen was furious and wanted to tear the man apart. He stood up and charged towards him, grabbing him by the collar and throwing punches. Lao Lu stood by without interfering, his expression cold. Jiang Yinyan asked Yun Yin, Is that him? Yun Yin nodded. It was just the two of them in the elevator at the time, so she remembered him clearly. After being beaten, the man became even more reckless and completely broke ties with Zhang Xianwen. If you didn't promise me benefits, would I risk my life for you? He pushed Zhang Xianwen away and tried to approach Jiang Yinyan, but Lao Lu grabbed him and prevented him from getting anywhere near him. The man knelt on the ground and begged, Yin Xiao, business hasn't been good for me these past 2 years. Zhang Xianwen promised me several big deals, so I took the risk. Otherwise, He glanced at Yun Yin and saw that Jiang Yinyan was standing up for her. He changed his tone. I wouldn't dare to kidnap Yin Xiao's people. The person who kidnapped Yun Yin was considered to be half in the circle, so some people recognized him and whispered a reminder, Don't talk nonsense. Lao Lu stepped forward. Yin Xiao. Jiang Yinyan's expression was calm as he lightly ordered, Take off one of his fingers as a lesson. Yes. The man was terrified. Yin Xiao. I was just following orders. Lao Lu grabbed him, and then they heard the man's desperate scream. Perhaps afraid of upsetting Jiang Yinyan, Lao Lu gagged him. Yun Yin listened from the side, her scalp tingling, a chill creeping over her. She looked at Jiang Yinyan. His profile was as calm as water. To him, this was a trivial matter. She had been threatened before, and she had seen him bleed, but he never let her see the truly gruesome scenes. He said, You're still young. Those scenes aren't suitable for you. Lao Lu dragged the man out. Although Zhang Xianwen was usually irresponsible and insidious, he was definitely not as ruthless as Jiang Yinyan in public. The people in this circle were also ruthless. For power and profit, who wasn't ruthless? They even did things far worse in secret. But Jiang Yinyan's ruthlessness was direct and decisive. He was clearly telling everyone that some people were not to be trifled with. Zhang Xianwen looked at the bloody finger on the ground and nervously swallowed. The others also hadn't expected Jiang Yinyan to be serious, and they all felt uneasy. Jiang Yinyan's expression was calm throughout the entire process. After Lao Lu came back in and cleaned up the mess, Jiang Yinyan slowly said, Young Master Zhang, we haven't dealt with each other before, so you might not know much about me. Compared to Jiang Yinyan, compared to this circle, I like to do things directly. I sometimes like to take a stand on right and wrong. Zhang Xianwen had indeed not dealt with Jiang Yinyan, but he had dealings with the Jiang family. People like Jiang Yinyan and even Jiangs they were involved with the Jiang family. Only this Jiang Yinyan. Since he returned to the Jiang family in the past few years, the direction of the Jiang family had changed, and no one could figure out this Yin Xiao's preferences. Someone finally stepped forward to mediate, smiling and saying to Jiang Yinyan, Yin Xiao, you see, those who needed to be punished have been punished, and those who needed to be dealt with have been dealt with. We know that those jokes were wrong. How about we have a few drinks? And young Master Zhang was just confused for a moment. Let him drink 3 cups as a self-imposed penalty. How about it? The others quickly echoed, Try to make the big things small and the small things disappear. Yun stared at the faces of these people, feeling disgusted. These people had money and power and could wantonly abuse the weak. Even if they ruined them, they wouldn't feel guilty or ashamed because they had no scruples and felt that power could solve everything. Jiang Yinyan smiled slightly. I never knew young Master Zhang was so popular. Zhang Xuanwen's lips moved, but he couldn't say a word. The man smiled ingratiatingly. We're all in the same circle, and we see each other often. If we really break up, it would be awkward, wouldn't it? What do you say, Yin Xiao? Jiang Yinyan placed one hand on the mahjong table and tapped it lightly with his slender fingers. Apologize. What? Everyone was stunned. Even Yinyan was surprised and turned to look at Jiang Yinyan. She thought that someone had already come forward to mediate the matter, and that even for the sake of the Jiang family's interests, Jiang Yinyan would have to turn a blind eye. She didn't expect him to be so insistent. Jiang Yinyan stared at Zhang Xianwen, his gaze gradually becoming cold. Lao Lu and I are the same. We don't have any scruples when doing things. He has ways of dealing with stubborn people. Young Master Zhang, would you like to try? Why? You dare threaten me? Zhang Xianwen gasped, his eyes bloodshot. Jiang Yinyan smiled and nodded. Yes, I am threatening you. The person who had just tried to reconcile went to Zhang Xuanwen's side and whispered, I think you should just give in. Jiang Yinyan's style is different from the people in the circle. Why suffer now? At most, you'll lose face. We're brothers. No one will laugh at you, right? But if you become enemies with Jiang Yinyan, you'll be in for a bloody fight. Zhang Xuanwen's teeth itched with hatred, but the words of the person next to him made sense. He had underestimated his opponent. After a long time, Zhang Xianwen roughly ordered the butler to bring over wine and poured 3 cups. He went up to Yun Yin and reluctantly lowered his head. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. My behavior today hurt you. I sincerely apologize to you. I will punish myself with 3 cups. Please forgive me, Miss Yu. He didn't hesitate to drink. Indeed, punishing himself with 3 cups, each poured to the brim. Yun Yin demanded that he delete all videos related to her. Zhang Xianwen did as he was told, explaining that there was only that one video. He was afraid she wouldn't believe him, so he even showed her his phone's photo album. Jiang Yinyan then ordered Lao Lu to bring the man back in. The wound was bandaged, but the gauze was still red. Jiang Yinyan said to Zhang Xianwen, he risked his life for you, for money. Young Master Zhang, you should fulfill your promise. After saying that, he planned to leave. Seeing this, the man quickly begged Jiang Yinyan to return his severed finger. Jiang Yinyan looked at Lao Lu, who threw a paper-wrapped bundle on the ground. It was bloody and was that severed finger. Jiang Yinyan asked with a half-smile, it's yours. Do you have the guts to pick it up? The man's movement to reach for the finger froze. He didn't dare. Jiang Yinyan walked out, slowly leaving his sentence behind. Next time you want to touch my people, first consider whether you have the life to do so. Yun Yin left with Jiang Yinyan. Before leaving, she got back her phone and clothes. Lao Lu steadily drove the car, and after they set off, he wisely raised the soundproof partition. The road winding through the mountains was quiet and deep. At this hour, everything was asleep. As soon as the phone was turned on, Yu Qiuanzhou's call came in. When she answered, he breathed a sigh of relief. Why was your phone off all the time? Yun Yin said that her phone was dead, and she just charged it. She asked him what was wrong. Yu Qiuanzhou said, nothing. I just wanted to see if he got home safely. Yun Yin assured him that she was safe, looking through the car window at the dark mountain shadows. I was too tired after getting home, and I lay down for a while before I realized my phone was dead. It's good that you're okay. Yun Yin was glad that the soundproofing in the car was good. Otherwise, Yu Qiuanzhou would definitely be suspicious. After ending the call, the car became quiet again. Jiang Yinyan leaned back in his seat, closing his eyes to rest. Yun Yin thought that this person had been silent for the past few days, but today he suddenly appeared. It was probably related to Zhang Xianwen. In any case, he had helped her out of a predicament today. Yin Xiao. What happened today was Zhang Xianwen taking revenge. Last time he didn't succeed in harming Qiuanzhou, and because Yin Xiao intervened in Qiuanzhou's affairs, he has been holding a grudge. Jiang Yinyan didn't say anything, nor did he open his eyes. His unpredictable reaction made Yun Yin feel unsure. She was also afraid that he would misunderstand because he had said that she would stay by his side for a year, and during this time, she wasn't allowed to have any relationship with other men. Although he had given her enough face at the club, it didn't mean that he wouldn't overthink or even get angry. I was drugged and taken to the club. When I woke up, I was in the bedroom upstairs. My clothes and phone were gone. Yun Yin didn't know what to say, but she had to say what she needed to say. When I got my phone back, I asked the butler, and he told me the truth. He said that a female server went into the room to take off my clothes, not Zhang Xianwen. Saying that, Yun Yin added, Zhang Xianwen knows about my relationship with Jiangze, so he definitely wouldn't dare to touch me. But I didn't expect him to call you to the club today. Jiang Yinyan kept his eyes closed, but he spoke, his voice low. What's your relationship with Jiang Zhe? Yunyan fell silent. After a moment, he opened his eyes. Zhang Xianwen kidnapped you and brought you to the club, and then called me over. I don't believe you don't know what his purpose was in doing so. Yunyan knew. Jiang Yinyan didn't like to meddle in other people's business. Zhang Xianwen was definitely suspicious of her relationship with Jiang Yinyan. Will be a lot of trouble. Yunyan asked softly. Trouble? Jiang Yinyan frowned slightly. He reached out and wrapped his arm around her neck, placing his hand on the back of her head and pulling her forward. She was forced to lie in his arms. Jiang Yinyan lowered his head, his thin lips lightly touching her cheek. Is being with me something to be ashamed of? His voice was deep and cold. Yunyan's scalp tightened. I mean, Grandma Jiang hasn't agreed to call off the engagement yet. That's right. The engagement hasn't been called off yet, and Miss Yu is already eager to get entangled with her fiancé's uncle. That would be something to talk about, wouldn't it? Yunyan's breath hitched. I'm afraid it would be even more detrimental to Yin Xiao's reputation. Reputation is as light as a feather to me. What? Does Miss Yu think she has a reputation? Jiang Yinyan sneered, but the desire in his eyes was deep as a dark sea. Having a scandalous reputation is true. Yunyan explained, nothing happened between me and Zhang Xianwen. What about other men? No one, Yunyan said. Jiang Yinyan stared at her face and suddenly smiled. Miss Yu is doing a good job of maintaining this pure image. Yunyan didn't want to argue with him anymore. She wanted to get up, but Jiang Yinyan grabbed her. He then threw the clothes next to him at her. Change into your own clothes. The clothes had been kept by the butler. Earlier, the butler came and knocked on the door. She threatened the butler, and only then did she get a set of private clothes from the female server to wear. So Zhang Xianwen was purely deliberate. He wanted to see her come downstairs in a bathrobe so that it would naturally lead to speculation. That was why Zhang Xuanwen's eyes flashed with surprise when she came downstairs fully dressed. My clothes are dirty. Did you drink? Jiang Yinyan asked casually. Yunyan immediately denied it. The wine smell on the clothes was deliberately left by Zhang Xianwen. The wine smell in the room was also very strong. He wanted to create the illusion that I was sexually promiscuous after drinking. Jiang Yinyan's expression was calm. Yunyan sat there, unmoving.